When you think of Valentine's Day, what comes to mind? Heart-shaped boxes of chocolate, flowers, a card. There's also red hearts, Cupid, and some roses. If you thought of any of that stuff and more, then you are correct. But back in the day, that's not what was happening. The history of Valentine's Day started back in the year 496 by the Romans to celebrate love by giving gifts and cards. Celebrating Valentine's Day was nothing what it is compared to what we celebrate today. Like I said, Valentine's Day started back in the year 496 by the Romans. The year 496 sounds weird, doesn't it? Well, that's just what it's called. During this time, on February 14th, the Romans celebrated a day celebrated a party called the Feast of Saint Valentine. This party was to honor the death of Saint Valentine. This is how the holiday got its name. Saint Valentine was a priest that lived in Rome. Here he is. Saint Valentine was executed because he would not deny Christ by the order of Empress Claudius. The 15th of February was also to celebrate Saint Valentine, but that day was quite morbid, so I'm not going to go into detail on that. A proverb once said that Saint Valentine brought roots, plants, and flowers to the land, and it also signaled the first day of spring. The 14th was also a day the 14th was also thought of a day that when the birds would propose or marry. The Day of Love was traditionally thought to be March 12th or February 22nd. In the 14th and 15th century is when the holiday really started to be about love. Then in the 18th century, Valentine's Day became the day that you show your appreciation to your loved ones by giving gifts. Valentine's Day has grown into the holiday that we celebrate today. Valentine's Day is associated with love. This international holiday was created to celebrate people's love for each other. At the start of this holiday, it was not completely about love. It did not become a romance holiday until the 18th century. Around the middle of February is when all the birds would mate, so the people associated that day and the middle of February to be with love and romance. Now, Valentine's Day is celebrated mostly around the world, but in different ways, but for the same reason, love. About 10% of Americans get engaged on Valentine's Day. And I have a picture of this is my sister and her husband, and they got engaged on Valentine's Day and then married the following November. Yeah. Anyways, if that doesn't scream love, then I don't know what does. On this day of celebrating love, people usually give gifts and cards. Valentine's Day is usually spent by giving gifts and cards. When Valentine's Day was first being celebrated, the Romans would give handwritten notes and letters. And here we go. Oh, sorry, not that part yet. Anyways, whatever. I'm just gonna keep going. Whatever. Oh, so in Norfolk, a character called Jack would leave sweets and presents at the back doors of children's houses. And ironically, just like the Easter Bunny, a lot of kids were scared of Jack. The first Valentine, here we go, this is the part that I was looking for. The first Valentine was written in 1415 by Charles, here I'll come closer so you can see it. This is the first Valentine ever written by Charles, Duke of New Orleans. Now, he wrote that first Valentine in prison to his wife. In the 1900s is when the first printed Valentine's cards were made, and that's what they began to replace written cards. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. The pre-written cards. I'm talking way too fast. Whatever. The pre-written cards made it much easier for people to express their feelings. Nowadays, it's popular to give store-bought cards and bouquets of flowers and boxes of chocolates and stuff like that. In school, when we were all little, we had Valentine's Day parties, and we would give little Valentine's cards, and we would make boxes like this to put our Valentines in. That was always fun. And so back in the day, they would only give the letters and the cards to their partners. But nowadays, we do give our partners cards and gifts and flowers and all that stuff, but we also give it to our parents and our friends. There's a lot more to learn about. There's a lot more that you could learn about the history of Valentine's Day, but this is just a start. Valentine's Day was celebrated way differently back in the day from what we do now. I think it's very cool how far we have come in celebrating this holiday. Ever since Valentine's started in the year 496, it has always been celebrated about love, for the most part. Though the way it has been celebrated has changed over the years. I know we all love getting candy on Valentine's Day. The most popular candy to get on Valentine's Day is chocolate. Did you know that the first box of Valentine's Day chocolate was made by Richard Cadbury in the late 19th century? Isn't that cool? Whew. Thank you for listening.